So right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make one of my drinks, and these drinks are my meal replacements. So every time I get hungry or I feel that little rumble in my stomach, I'll make me one of these drinks, and the hunger subsides. So I got my lemon, my trusty little lemon citrus squeezer. I typically use one lemon, one small organic lemon, because for some reason, uh, organic lemons, I never find them to be that big. So small one, I'll use a whole one. Otherwise, if it was a big lemon, I would use a half. Okay. Then I have the maple syrup, the organic grade B maple syrup. And for that, we use 2 tablespoons in a cup. Now, there's always a little water left, a little maple syrup left in the spoon. So just to make sure I get it out, I will just pour the water in there in a measuring cup. So I like my lemonade to taste a specific way, and I kind of got it to taste how I'd like it to taste. So the amount of water I use is about, I don't know, let's just spill it all over my table, is about 3/4 of a cup. And the reason I use 3/4 of a cup is because the water to lemon and maple syrup ratio, it just makes it just sweet enough for me. And if you don't want it too sweet, you can use 1 tablespoon of the maple syrup. And make sure it's organic maple syrup. Don't be using, no bullshit maple syrup. So that's kind of how I like it. Sometimes I add a little bit more water when I don't want it too sweet, or I'll cut down on the maple syrup. But again, the maple syrup serves as your caloric intake for the day. So you are not completely operating on fumes. And then I use, I just put it in, I'm sorry guys. I use 1/10 of a teaspoon, which is a pinch, if you have little measuring spoons, of the cayenne pepper. Now, if you don't like spicy stuff, I find a lot of people who typically don't like spicy stuff, they don't mind the cayenne pepper in there. I wouldn't suggest omitting it because it does serve a purpose, and you're trying to cleanse and you're trying to detox. So I'm a big believer, if you're going to do something, do it right, follow the rules to the T, and get the results that you want. If you start like taking shortcuts and like omitting things and doing things the way you want to do it, you're not really doing the cleanse, and you're not really doing justice to your body and what it needs. So this is my drink, and I drink about, you can drink about 6 to 12 of these a day. I can't manage to drink 12 of them a day, so I'll drink 6, and then the rest of my day, I will have water throughout the day. Now, you're probably wondering why I have sea salt here and an organic laxative. So, the night before you first start the cleanse, right, you really want to try to flush your system. So, before you go to bed, you drink an organic herbal laxative tea right before you go to bed. And then when you wake up that first morning, you want to do what they call a salt water bath. It's an internal bath. Now, this is my least favorite part of the cleanse, and probably for the first few years, the only way I was able to stomach this was to just chug it. I don't recommend that. It will make you nauseous. It'll make some people vomit. I have a stronger threshold for doing horrible things to myself, and for that reason, I was able to tolerate this. But the purpose of the sea salt. So, as you may know, or as you may not know, your body cannot absorb salt water. That's why if you're in the ocean, and you're dehydrated and you drink salt water, you're pretty much dead. So, what this does is you use 2 teaspoons, not tablespoons, very important, 2 tablespoons of sea salt into 32 ounces of body temperature water. The sea salt in the water is actually it's actually the same salinity of your blood. So when you drink this, the water will not pass through your bladder. It will pass through the other chute and take everything along with it that serves your body no good. And you'll notice, and not to get too graphic here, but things that will pass will be very mucus like and fluid, and these are just things that have been in your body for ages and your body does not dispose of naturally. And teamed up with the laxative, I would not recommend leaving your house for about 2 hours after you finish the salt water. And here's a tip: if you're having a hard time with the salt water, give yourself 10 minutes to drink it. You don't got to drink it all in one shot like I used to do. Give yourself 10 minutes. What makes it easier for me is, excuse me, sorry. What makes it easier for me is I will fill an 8-ounce cup and I will drink 4 ounces at a time. And I will do that 4 times. Yes, 4 times. Look at this. I can add. Yeah, and that's why I do it. And if you were wondering how I typically do this, the way I typically do it is I will fill a measuring glass up 8 ounces at a time, and I'll drink 4 ounces at a time, and I'll do that 4 times to get to the 32 ounces of body temperature salt water. You're only supposed to do the salt water bath about 3, if you're going to do the cleanse for 10 days, you're supposed to do it about every other day. You can do it. You don't have to do it. You can omit that and do the herbal laxative. But what I've realized, after a couple days, the herbal laxative doesn't work. Every night before you go to bed for the first 10 days, you should be doing the herbal laxative. My goal when I do this is to cleanse and to kind of eliminate everything. So when I'm done with the cleanse, I can start over fresh with a fresh palate and a fresh gut and a fresh digestive system, and make sure that everything I intake is absolutely good and beneficial to my body, and every food that I eat serves a purpose. After you're done with the cleanse, you cannot go right back to eating right away. You need to give your body 3 days to reopen your digestive system. And in order to do that, day 1, you have to have plain soup broth, vegetable soup broth. Day 2, in order to do that, you have to so for day 1 of reintroducing food to your digestive system, will
Babe, drink water.
No, I have to remember what I'm trying to say. Day 1 of reintroducing food to your system will be, what's that word? Concluded? Will be, no, not conducive. Day 1 will include, no. Day 1 of reintroducing food to your digestive system is very important. You will still be drinking your lemonade mix, but you will introduce vegetable broth, plain vegetable broth. You don't want to over season it because you don't want to put your digestive system in shock, and it'll probably hurt your stomach if you start putting things like garlic and salt and pepper and stuff like that. It has to be plain, it has to be bland. It's not the greatest, but trust me, after drinking this for 10 days, or in my case 30 days, anything else will just taste incredible. So that would be day 1. Day 2, you introduce some acids into your stomach, and that consists of fresh squeezed orange juice. Don't get Tropicana, don't get anything from concentrate, and make sure that the orange juice is not pasteurized. Okay, you want it fresh, whole, and as healthy and as clean and just as nature intended it. And you can have the juice, and you can also still have the soup broth. Day 3, you can have the soup broth with some, you can have soup with some kind of vegetables in it, some kind of chunks, and you could have whole fruit as well as you can still drink the lemonade. But by the time I get to day 3, I'm already done with the lemonade. I'll have some fruit, I'll have a little orange juice, and I'll have, some soup broth with some sort of vegetable chunks and stuff like that in it. And then day 4, you are ready to resume life just the way it was before you started the cleanse. And hopefully you took those 10 days and the extra time you saved by not cooking, not eating out, and not doing any of that stuff, and you've created a game plan for what you're going to do when you come off the cleanse. And voila, this is the Master Cleanse. This is why I do it. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at LexOneGTPS. And I hope you guys have success in what you're doing. Leave some comments below. Let me know your thoughts. If you have any specific questions, hit me in the DMs, and I will make sure to get back to you as soon as possible. Please get the book, and please don't do this without reading the book. Thanks for watching.